Shalom. Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to the elect, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. This is the head of the European Union making statements that they stand with the Khazar Jays. Says today Hamas terrorists have struck in the heart of the Khazars, capturing and killing, they say, innocent women and children. The Khazars have a right to defend itself today and in the days to come. The European Union stands with the Khazar Jays. All right, so the head of the European Union, which I'm reading that she has no right to say that, but so what they're saying is that they any response that the this would be the 10 horns that the Khazar Jays do is justified. I mean, they're given carte blanche, I believe I read, to indiscriminately kill people that didn't attack them, because Hamas is an underground military unit. All right. They're not hanging around in buildings. All right. They have different cells. So every time those Khazars shoot their fire on a building, they're killing people that are not associated with that group that they say they're after. They're really trying to eradicate the people. All right. So you got the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns is NATO. All right. And there's really cross between the 7 heads and 10 horns. All right. If you can see the some nations that make up the EU make up the NATO also. And either way, financially, the EU supports the beast war effort. All right. Supports the 7 heads war effort. So they're really the same thing. All right. But there's subtle differences. All right. 7 heads: Greeks, British, Germania Major, Germania Minor, Spain, France, Rome. All right. And they have their modern areas today. And then you have the 10 horns: Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Greece, Ireland, England, Germany. All right. When you see a statement like this, the European Union stands with Israel. You got to think like, well, if the EU stands with Khazar Jays, all right, that means they support every action that the Khazar Jays take against Ishmael, all right, under the banner of the Palestinians, all right. So we're going to go to, this is where I found it at, RT. It says, Western virtue signaling goes hypersonic over the Khazar Jays. With all the rhetoric, bluster, and warmongering among the coming from the EU and US, it's clear that peace isn't their formal, it's like it isn't their, it's not their formal policy, but isn't their first priority. All right. And that's where I got the tweet from. So she's the head of the EU, which I seen here, showed you here. All right. Formerly the European Economic Community. So this is where the money comes from, economic. Now it's known as the EU. All right. So they're in full support. All right. So when you go to Revelation, the 13th chapter, it ties in. All right. You go to 13th and 4, the rebirth of the Roman Empire, starting with America. And then you have the European states. It says 13 and 4. And they worship the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying, who was like unto the beast, and who was able to make war with him. All right. So where do the Khazar-Jays get their weapons from? They get it from the U.S. and Germany. And it's a compilation, if I'm saying that word right, I can't say that word, of the EU supporting that client state. And there's an agreement that I found out about. Where is it at? Who was able to make war with them? Yeah, so the beast, like, let me bring it back. See, so it's clear. Together, this whole thing makes up the beast, including America is included. All right, they operate together. All right, you got America and you got these European countries. They operate together. The beast with the 7 heads and 10 horns, and the whore riding on her. All right, so all of them together, economically and militarily, make up the war effort. All right, who was able to make war with them? You go down to the 13th verse, and he does great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. All right. So we're going to go to, so they're playing like a sick game. I read another article where they're still going to be sending aid to Ishmael Palestinians. All right. You got the Khazar European Union relations, you can see there. So there's an agreement with the beast, with one element of the beast anyway, the EU, of trade. Right here it says it's associated state. So basically, that state is a client state of the EU. So in other words, they're not an official member, but they receive the benefits of being an EU client. Is an associate state. Associate state is what they call it. October, okay. It says between the two are framed in the European neighborhood policy. All right. So you have different states that are a part of this neighborhood policy, and this state is a part of it. All right. The main legal ties between the Khazars and the EU are set by the 1995 Association Agreement. All right. So there you go. So follow the money. Here's another confusing point. Look at this one. The EU reverses earlier announcements to suspend development aid to Palestinians. So they were about to not give the Ishmael, the Palestinians, money because of the attacks by Hamas. So now they're continuing to play both sides. Now, the European Union late Monday reversed an earlier announcement by the EU Commissioner that the bloc was immediately suspending development aid for Palestinian authorities, and instead said it would urgently review such assistance in the wake of the attacks on the Khazars by Hamas to make sure no money was misused. So apparently they're not totally abandoning the Ishmaelites down there, the European Union. So they're playing both sides. And this is what the elite do. They play both sides. They really wanted to they just want to create a whole bunch of pain and suffering, all right, and to distract you from other things. You know, I'm hearing it also has to do with economic collapse coming, and as more of a distraction or to generate more money, because the support is going to be coming from the European countries and United States, all right, which are a part of the beast, spoken about in the book of Revelation, 13th chapter. All right, they make up the beast in the book of Revelation. All right. Go, and I put something in the search, I believe. How much money is the EU sending to the state of the Khazars? So they're a client state, an associated state. They're a special state. They get to indiscriminately murder people. And the scriptures tell you about the sword of the Lord are the Edomites. All right. So whenever the Esau, shoots his fire on you, his missile technology, that's the hand of the Lord. All right, and that's punishment. The European Union exports $12 billion to the Khazars with machinery and transport equipment, accounting for 41% of the exports in 2021. And they trade both ways. It says ammunition, weapon firing equipment, components for military aircraft and vehicles. All right, and that's where I found the Khazar European Union Associate Agreements. Let me put in where do Khazars get their let's correct it, weapons. So they keep, because they control the internet. See how they doing top stories. Says the Khazars has in its possession some of the most advanced state-of-the-art military aircraft and gets its most weapons from the United States since 1940. All right. So they got their weapons from 1948 from Soviets, it looked like. USA is the biggest supplier. I read somewhere else, Germany also. All right, so who's attacking those Ishmaelites? Well, the beast that's supporting. The beast is in total support of the slaughter of those Ishmaelites, and that's the sword of the Lord. Let me see if I can find that precept. Then I'll wrap it up. Let's see, which is thy sword? Psalm 17. Psalm 17 and 13 says, arise. Hold on. Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. All right. So the wicked is the Lord's sword. All right. What? The EU. And they stand, which I don't know that that's an official statement. All right, so the might and the support, you got the U.S. aircraft moving toward to show support for those Khazar Jays. So this is another war effort, just like when they went to war with Iraq and Afghanistan. They did it under NATO, even if they didn't announce official operations. Those European countries and the United States got together and they bombed and warred against those countries, Afghan and Iraq. And they're doing the same thing with support and technology, aircraft, weapons, and I heard they modify them in the state. The Khazar Jays when they get them from these European countries, from the beast. All right, so they're in power because they're an associated client state of the beast. All right, they have the total support of the beast. All right. And those Ishmaelites are suffering because they're inhabiting the land that is not theirs. That land belongs to the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. Which are so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. All right. Which make up the tribe of Judah to Issachar. All right. We're the original inhabitants of the land of Canaan. All right. And before that, in the garden, we were there in the garden, and then the Canaanites came to possess the land, and then through Joshua, Yahushua in the Hebrew, we expelled the Canaanites out of the land. All right, and then we inhabited the land, and because of our sins, we were removed from the land. All right. So now, it even tells you in the scriptures that the Most High, through His Son, is going to return our people back to the land, and our borders are going to be expanded to their original borders, or to the prophesied borders. All right. I believe to the from Egypt, if I'm not mistaken, to the Euphrates River, I believe is the proper dimensions. So that's a much wider. You can correct me on that if that's not correct. That's a much wider area than the small area it is now, which those Khazars are fighting to expand. All right. So the beast is at war again. All right. Another proxy war. All right. The European Union is in total support with the slaughter of the Ishmaelites. All right, and they're suffering right now because the Esau, the wicked, is the sword of Yahushua. All right, sword of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua.